Good morning, everybody. Good morning. You are now rocking with the Madman. You know, you in the place to be. It's been a while, you know what I mean? I ain't spoke to the good peoples in a minute. If you miss me, I missed you, you know what I'm saying? But it's been a lot going on in the world. But as far as me, I just been working, all I do is work. Then on my days off, I just be trying to rest. But I do want to become more consistent in 2026, and I'm looking at this as the beginning. You gotta kind of start the year off how you want it to go. I'm recording this on the week of Thanksgiving. I don't know if this part's gonna come out as a whole, but I guess so. But I'm recording this on the week of Thanksgiving, so I'm trying to go into December and then the new year being more consistent. You know what I mean? It's been a lot of things going on that I wanted to talk about, and I haven't gotten the chance to. So it's is as it comes to me, I know I'm gonna just try to be in here and try to push things out. Uh, where do I want to start? Um, Today while I was at work driving, you know what I mean. I was listening to the clip of Juelz Santana saying kids don't need to read. They don't need to learn how to read or whatever. He was on some podcast. I don't really know. I heard it off the Breakfast Club, to be honest with you. And they didn't play the full podcast. I didn't go look it up, and it seemed like he had a point. But I'm here to kind of not defend his point because he's totally wrong. But I think he was gonna get more into what he actually meant. But I'm just here to say what I think he meant and kind of kind of debunk or point out why at the end of the day it's still not so good way to look at things. You know what I'm saying? But did not I don't think he's necessarily saying, in my opinion. I mean, I don't necessarily have to say my opinion, right? Yeah, it's just something that plays in my mind. But anyway, you don't. We all need to know how to read. I think he has a general understanding that we all need to know the basics of reading. We need to have a foundation of reading, writing, math skills. I believe he's trying to say with all the technology, with all the social media presence, with all of the audio books, all of the ways of today in 2025, and in the future it should progress. We don't necessarily need to know how to pick up a book and read it verbatim to actually obtain the information we need. I believe that's what he's saying. I believe, like, yes, we have a basic knowledge of reading and writing and all of that. But as we do, to get information from a book today, we have audiobooks. So we listen to somebody reading what's actually in the book. If if we need to fix a problem, we can go to YouTube. I know a lot of people use TikTok. Like I personally, when I need to fix my car or find out a way to hang a TV or whatever, I know I could cut on YouTube. I could cut on TikTok. I don't necessarily have to go to a book source or like a library or whatever to go read how to hang up a TV, like the words of it. A lot of, I mean, it's Christmas time coming up, right? So a lot of toys that we get for our kids, if we need to build a bookshelf, we need to build some type of stand, we need to put these toys together. A lot of these instruction manuals come with a visual component. It's not necessarily just a reading instructions and you try to figure it out. There's a visual to the instructions. I know IKEA, a lot of us probably have things from IKEA. When you look at that instruction manual to put your cabinet together or your bed together or your nightstand together or whatever together from IKEA, it comes with a visual component. It doesn't, I mean, it comes with use this screw and put A board with B board and all of these things. And it's like the information is not necessarily based on reading. When we want to if we have a contract, right? We getting into some type of contract, whether it's on your phone, whether it's you're going into business with somebody, you can get a lawyer, you have managers, you have business partners, you may have friends and family, you have the internet. All of these things, you don't necessarily need to know how to read per se. You know what I'm saying? You don't you can get the information, you can extract the information that you need. You can go hire somebody that you need to obtain the information that you want to receive. There's is so much in the world today that doesn't necessarily require you reading. You can talk into your phone and ask the AI of whether you have an iPhone, Android, or whatever. You can talk into your phone and text. You can talk into your phone and text what you want to like Google search or whatever for your AI to search, and it'll tell you, and it'll actually talk back to you. You don't actually have to read what comes up. Like the first paragraph, it'll read to you. You know what I'm saying? It'll read whatever you looked up. So I believe his main point in the clip was really to prioritize financial literacy over reading. Now, can you go, now you want to say, can you go on social media and learn financial literacy, learn about taxes, learn about investments, learn about savings, learn about investing your money in real estate, stocks, bonds, opening the businesses? Yes, you can learn financial literacy. However, there's a lot of scammers. There's a lot of people willing to take advantage of you in your ignorance. So yes, you want to put, if that's like a school taught based curriculum, hopefully um it's not socialized to where you like where we feel school is now, like just to get workers and for the masses to fit into a societal structure, and not necessarily not necessarily have a whole bunch of entrepreneurial spirits out here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, including myself, look at school outside of the school to jail pipeline as just creating a society of assimilators, to where we feed you a certain level of education, so when you get out as an adult, you could pretty much be plug and play to the the older people going into the retirement and moving out of society's structural and like retirement and plugging in the new young blood for somebody like we can pay less, somebody who's willing to learn, who 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 just feeds into the system of capitalism or whatever our societal structure is. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much what, es- especially here in America, the educational system seems to be on whatever level. You know what I'm saying? You're like whether you're in college or not. Like a lot of people with college degrees don't even use their college degrees after. You know what I'm saying? They don't even go into that field. But coming from a rapper, coming from a person who may have feel who may feel like I blew through millions of dollars because my parents didn't teach me, my school didn't teach me, my friends and family mm, couldn't teach me because we all came from nothing. You know what I'm saying? So he wants to pass down the science that in a sense rich people pass down from generations to their kids. You see what I'm saying? Because they know they're wealthy and that wealth needs to be around for the kids and the grandkids and the grandkids and the grandkids and all of these things. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these people with this knowledge pass it down. So I believe, like I said, without seeing a full extent of the conversation, he more so believes in financial literacy and how we get from me or him per se or me. It's not necessary to to not necessarily create millions and billions of dollars or even create wealth. It's have a solid foundation of, all right, how do I make $1,000 $10,000? How to make $10,000 $40,000 within 1 or 2 years without necessarily just saving it under a mattress. See what I'm saying? We work so hard, we work in 2 3 jobs, and it's kind of like you look back and we still got to work into our 60s 70s because we don't have no retirement or we don't really have no knowledge of having residual income and income based on us not actually physically going to do something. See what I'm saying? So I believe he's just prioritizing that, and with the understanding that yes, you want to be able to read, but it's so many ways that we can just obtain the information without physically reading words on a paper. You see what I'm saying? And like I want to end this here with why I think it's still stupid. It's still wrong because you got to understand reading, when you open up a book and when you don't want to trust a person on the internet, when you don't want to trust just s- just any source, I would say. When you want to go to a dedicated source where you feel like on the internet somebody can be telling you anything about whatever they want you to believe. You don't have like a trusted source per se. You know what I'm saying? So when you go actually read it for yourself to fact check in a sense. Like, yes, you might listen to an audio book which is describing what's in the book, but you don't I mean, it's all propaganda at the end of the day. You don't know if this audio source or this person on the internet, on TikTok, this person on YouTube is actually saying their what's in the book or their opinion of what's in the book. We do that with the Bible, and we're not gonna take it there. But what I'm saying is, you go read multiple different sources, or you learn, like, people in jail, they go to the law library, and start reading the law books for themselves, instead of relying just on the lawyer's knowledge, like their lawyer's knowledge on certain things. They might be leaving out or not have studied as much as whatever their field is. You know what I'm saying? So you might come across a president set in a courtroom in Nebraska and you're in New York. You see what I'm saying? And as you read the law books, you'll find out, oh, this may apply to my situation. See what I'm saying? So we always want to be able to read and read with understanding. And even when it comes to the law, we don't want to have to go to jail to start understanding um words and terminology under the legal system, because we may use words, and like, we as society use words in everyday life that doesn't necessarily equate or mean the same under the law. You see what I'm saying? So you have to speak in law terminology and have that understanding, so you can properly assess what's in a contract, what's a legally binding agreement. You know what I'm saying? So when you are in front of a judge or a magistrate, or if you ever find yourself in that position, or like I said, when you're reading terms of service on your phone, you'll understand what these words mean legally, and not necessarily in a urban, a slang, a homey way. If you're like, I don't know what the suburban kids call it, what type of lingo it's called, but you don't want the casual lingo that we use a lot of our words, because these words really mean things, and like, and it can get you jammed up. So you want to be your own fact checker, just on anything. You know what I'm saying? You want to read multiple books on certain things, whatever you're interested in, because you want to get multiple perspectives. You see what I'm saying? It's not necessarily all about just fixing your car. It's not all about building a shelf from IKEA. It's not all about building toys for your kids. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to read on a higher level than a basic level, because you just want to be in the know more. You know what I'm saying? And that can help you out with financial literacy. It can help you out with religious beliefs. It can help you out in everyday life, like I said, with the law, talking to the law, dealing with whatever. So with that being said, please read, do you get your audio books, fact check, uh learn to expand your vocabulary, learn to properly use your vocabulary, properly communicate on the level of the person you are communicating to. Not that you can't be smarter than them and eventually help them get their communication up with certain vocabulary. But rule number one in communication, you have to properly communicate on the level of the person you're trying to communicate with. You know what I'm saying? Um, Another thing I wanted to touch on is I'm very big in battle rap. You know what I'm saying? And there was a battle rap happening between Millz, DNA, and Goodz, the animal. Uh, all battle rappers. Millz went on to be a industry rapper with Young Money. I know we all know this, but maybe you don't. But I really wanted to give applause to all three gentlemen. I I wanted to give a breakdown on this because I see Screwface Gene when he did his blog on it, and like I said, I'm a couple weeks late, so but I'm just kind of getting all my thoughts out. But when he did a blog on it, he didn't understand how the battle rap community had Millz beating DNA. And this is now that both different battles is over, Millz versus DNA, Millz versus Goodz. Now that the battle is over, and ultimately the people and just the consensus is Millz beat both of them. I I wanted to make this blog to anybody who kind of didn't really get why the people necessarily gravitated towards Millz. Uh Now, in battle rap as we know it, far as being on the RBE, URL, TBL stage at this point in time, the king of the dots, when we're in those rooms, the trenches, Chrome 23s, when these battles are set up in the modern day as we know it, they're acapella, right? And with acapella, the energy that you are portraying to the camera, to the people who not necessarily in the room, to the people in the room, your cadence, your performance, your wordplay, it sets the tone for your content. It sets the tone for what the people feel. The tone of the battle is set by your words. What you choose to talk about, how you choose to convey it, where you rap in a certain cadence, where it sounds like you're talking, where it sounds like you're on a rhythm, where you land the punchline and stop and let it breathe to let the crowd react to the punchline. Your forefront is the words in a sense. How you perform the words for it to actually land. See what I'm saying? What DNA and Goodz have the advantage, far as Millz being an industry, he was a battle rapper, then he came back, he went to the industry, then he came back, and when he performed on stage, he the culture, the battle rap culture, or the community, the BRC as we call it, where it's at in the 2019 20s and 18s is different from where it was before the smack and the grind times and all of these things, and even fight club, fight room. right? When you're battling on the street and you just got rounds and I mean when you just got raps and you just got 50 raps that you just writing in your house, and then when you walk outside you stepping into whoever block and whatever cipher, you know what I'm saying? It's a different feel. So when they're talking on stage and in these rooms, it's just a different cadence, and where you gotta stop, like I said, just to let the crowd even react to the bar. It's not necessarily a crowd of people just crowding around two people rapping or a group of people rapping, and we all just vibing to the flow. You know what I'm saying? Of the raps. It's like, no, the crowd is trying to be an active participant within the battle. See what I'm saying? So you gotta cater to the people within the room so you can get the vibe of the crowd, and you have to cater to the camera so when people watch it on the playback, it kind of uh conveys a certain message and a certain feeling. And that was their strong suit, right? And they had that down pat. And with Jay Mills not necessarily being around in the changing of the guards of it, of him just kind of going industry and then coming back into it, you gotta kind of find your groove in how the game is being played today, per se, right? So once DNA brought it to the beat and to the songwriting ability, he kind of put himself, not that he can't rap on beat, but you kind of take off, you kind of diminish your strong suit. You know what I'm saying? Because now when you add the beat, you allow the beat in itself to take charge of the mood of the song. You know what I'm saying? Now, let's establish this before we get into that breakdown. The most lyrical rappers aren't necessarily always considered the top echelon of the rap game. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's being in on on wax or on a song or in a club or in a cipher or in battle rap. The most lyrical of a person, it doesn't just guarantee you a win. It's never guarantee you a win. So I understand, and for the most part, from watching pretty much a lot of people's reactions to DNA per se. Yes, DNA may have lyrically been better than Jay Mills by consensus. The actual lyrics could have been way better, but once you incorporate the beat, you drop the what was once number one down to per se number three. And now let's get into why that happens. The beat in itself controls the mood. Now think of it as you want a certain song or a certain energy, a certain tempo of beat when you go into the gym, when you working out. You want a certain tempo of beat when you go into the club and you want to get loose and party. You want a certain tempo and beat when you want to go on a drill or you want to go to a fight. You know what I'm saying? When you want to get hyped up for the game, when you it's like you want that adrenaline when it's wartime. See what I'm saying? When you if you ever played sports, I mean, I think I've heard Lucas say he plays like Disney music, or some people play R&B or whatever. But most people want to hear that rap Cause it's gonna get your juices going. It's gonna put you in that right mood. It's gonna give you that feel that it's game time. See what I'm saying? So when you allow the beat to 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 be the forefront of the rap battle, now you the lyricism that's required is not at the top. You know what I'm saying? When like understand when you in the club, you may not necessarily know. I mean, want to sing the most lyrical words in the club. Like nobody does. You really singing the chorus or the hot part of this one line of the song or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You and you really vibing and you dancing and you shaking your, you know what I mean? Whatever. So reason why I say you automatically bring the lyricism down that's required to make the people feel the song. See what I'm saying? So now is the beat, and then is your flow on the beat. That's what's second. Like, how are you incorporating these words to make it sound fluid on the beat? You see what I'm saying? So the words, yes, Jay Mills may not have been as lyrical as DNA, but he was direct to DNA. He allowed the beat to talk to DNA. I mean, far as like the AI choruses, I'm saying. But the beat, the chorus, the flow pockets, and it didn't necessarily require in the songs and the beats he picked didn't require him to be the most lyrical because and then like I said, in wartime, because they're battling and now you just creating that hype and that energy, you may not necessarily want to be the most lyrical just to convey my point. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't need to be this multi-syllable breakdown, compounded wordplay to convey the point of, yo, when I see you, I'm kicking your ass. I'm putting belt to ass. You can't fuck with me. See what I'm saying? You don't necessarily need the most lyrical breakdown in these big words to say you a bitch. And DNA, you ain't never been outside. You was in your room like Nas, writing your shit on your notepad. You see what I'm saying? While I was outside showing you seen your first tech when we was on tour with Large Professor. You know what I'm saying? You don't need the most lyrical breakdown to say this in song, particularly when the beat controls the vibe. So with DNA, his first song. Now I'm gonna just take you through the battle, right? With DNA, his first song, it was like done on IG or whatever. He put it on IG in like a little reel. Cool. Then Jay Mills came back in my DNA with a song where the is produced. It's a rap battle beat. DNA used Jay Mills' old song to rap on. So it doesn't necessarily to the ear sounds as good because now we're taking somebody shooting themselves on their phone to an actual song with CDQ quality and production and high quality production. See what I'm saying? So now you lose round one. So now it's like, all right, cool. Round two, DNA comes very lyrical with a song quality video and all of that, but the beat ain't there. The beat don't give you it's wartime. I'm ready to kill something. See what I'm saying? So now when Jay Mills come back with Spin the Block, it's like, nah, this the feel. Yes, you was way more lyrical than Jay Mills in round two, but it didn't give us the feel. You was saying all of that. You was saying you was way more lyrical. You probably said a lot more in word count. You probably said a lot more in disses. You know what I'm saying? But when Jay Mills brought the feel of it, nah, this is what a diss track is supposed to feel like. It's supposed to come at your neck. And like I said, when you allow, once you bring it to a song format, you allow your lyricism to drop. Now, like I said, it's about the feeling of the beat. First off, how's the beat gonna make me feel? Second, how's he flowing with the lyrics to the beat? And now it's the words. So now when the words are actually saying something, like it's not like totally he's not talking about DNA. It's not like, damn, these raps could have went for anybody. But a lot of like just him putting in jabs here and there or whatever, it just came together like, okay, that's DNA. You need to get on that. That's the feel of it. I don't know why you picked that beat because it just don't put us in that mindset. So now DNA comes the third song, uh, the Dirty Kitchen joint. Now we got the feel, we got the lyrics, or whatever, right? But understand, DNA came with it, right? He came that third song. It was better than the second because the beat choice. Because now he got the right beat choice, but then when and he got the lyricism. But now when Jay Mills come, momentum on his side. Now he put DNA Never Been Outside. He got the sample calling DNA out in the chorus, and now it's like a little vibe to it. Now we kind of dancing with it. See what I'm saying? And it's like, hold on, he's showing you how to, like, it's like you following me. Like he's controlling the vibe of, like, now we not really on the beef. Now it's like he it's kind of like he showed you round one how to properly, if we gonna take it to the music, make a good music sounding, right? Then properly, and then round two, he showed you how to really make a diss record. You know what I'm saying? And then round three, no, we gonna change the vibe up on you. It's like now you just following his momentum. He's controlling what we doing. Like it's no longer. It's kind of like a sports analogy, right? Just for right quick, a sports analogy. You could be dunking all day. We was doing dunks, but now we shooting threes from half court. You know what I'm saying? And it's like when I was dunking, you was laying up. Then when you decide to dunk, now I'm shooting from half court, and now the people are mesmerized by, oh, we already seen them dunk. Now we off that. Now we on to shooting threes from 3/4 court, half court, like Steph Curry land. You see what I'm saying? And you just allow Jay Mills to control the momentum. To now it's kind of like you playing catch up. See what I'm saying? And that's why Jay Mills kind of got that to the people. And if we just want to bring it back to battle rap, right? It's the biggest battle in the world happened last year. You know what I mean? It's over a year and a half now. Drake Kendrick. Let's think about when Drake put out Family Matters, right? That was his quote unquote nuke at the time, right? For for 30 to 40 minutes, no longer than 45 minutes, right? Everybody rocking the Drake. Family Matters. Okay. He's coming at everybody. He on 3 different beats. He's killing. He's calling Kendrick this. He's saying Kendrick that. All of that. 40 minutes later, Kendrick, which to me is not the best song, but it was the most effective song. Kendrick put out Meet the Grams. You know what I'm saying? And when he did that, and if you watch all the reactions, he took the energy of the battle and made it dark. He took the energy of the battle and switched the momentum. You see what I'm saying? So now when Drake put out his dance song, like it's not dance per se, but it was a vibe to it. Family Matters, and he's dissing people, and it was cool. And it was like, okay, yeah, this is what we want. And, you know, because we had little previous songs before that. Drake put out the all of the stuff before that, the Taylor Made and whatever. Then Kendrick put out the 616 and the whatever the first song was. I can't remember it right now. But anyway, we get the Family Matters, and then Kendrick switched it with Meet the Grams. And he just changed the energy, the beat. Like I said, the beat in itself, everybody knows. Damn, feel like a dark beat. Do do do, consistent, just a do do, and it's like everybody like, yo, it's real dark. It ain't really no drums. It ain't really no vibe. It's just dark. It feel like Jason's coming. I heard a lot of people say, feel like he walking down with a knife. Jason's coming. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't the most lyrically like wordy. It was just straight talk to you to you and your family. I'm writing letters to your mom. Like he started it off, Dear Adonis. Whoa, cool. Everybody. Oh, you going right to the kid. It's the energy. Kendrick in 45 to 30 to 45 minutes of Drake's Family Matters and getting the vibe, he changed the energy. He just switched the momentum. He changed the energy of what everybody was doing. Damn, Kendrick drop. Oh shit! What? Damn, I didn't even put my blog up yet. I seen all of everybody, half the people I watched. Damn, we didn't get to react and before he came out and then the energy was switched. And it is the energy switch. And the person, and like I said, the energy switch doesn't necessarily require just the most lyrical breakdown. It's because the energy is in the music. And then once the music change, and then you add the words, the context of what the words and how you're flowing to the actual beat. And like I said, with Kendrick, it was just the scathing context of what he was saying. And it was just a dark beat. It gave him the switch he needed, right? And then you got to understand that happened, say, 12 a.m. Saturday morning. You know what I'm saying? Friday night into Saturday morning. So say 12 a.m. Saturday morning. Drake dropped that like, say 11:30. Kendrick came at 12:15. Just say that for whatever. So then Saturday afternoon around 6, he then put up Not Like Us. See what I'm saying? So he put out another song probably 15 hours later or 12, 18 hours later, say. You know what I'm saying? And then he switched it again. Now we up dancing, vibing. Oh, this is a joint. Because now our last impression was this dark and eerie and talking to your family and Drake got another kid, secret kid, and all of this. Then he just kind of made a dance hit that our last impression, it was just made to come on a high. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to feel high after that dark. Yo, where he just went, like it was no more in a sense, unless you was a diehard Drake fan at the particular time. It was no more. The energy was low. You know what I'm saying? So when he came with the up tempo dance song, it just allowed for that to reign supreme. And then, like I said, even Not Like Us wasn't necessarily just the most lyrical, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It just like people it just didn't require the the most lyrical list of compounded syllables and all of that. See what I'm saying? So I'm not really gonna break down the Goodz thing in the Goodz battle, but it was just more of the same. It's like Goodz came out, his first song, it was cool for a song, but it wasn't a diss song. It didn't give us the energy of a diss song. And you cannot start that song. You as Goodz, right? Goodz, you cannot start with that song when we already fighting. You see what I'm saying? Goodz and Jay Millz were already fighting. Like if we outside rumbling, you can't come to the fight outside. Like if I'm fighting my neighbor and my neighbor got brothers, his brothers can't come outside and then start at I ain't gonna start swinging until somebody push me. We already rumbling. You just gotta get in with and start throwing hands. You can't. Oh, like remember, like y'all remember back in elementary school, like nah, I ain't gonna hit nobody until somebody hit me, and if somebody don't push me, then somebody must be scared, and then somebody from outside the circle end up pushing the one kid into the other kid, and then they start fighting. It's like that's what Goodz did. It's kind of like it's like nah, like people fighting already. It's a whole rumble outside. If you get to the rumble, start rumbling. It ain't wait till somebody push you and wait somebody hit you. It's rumble time. See what I'm saying? And like I said, Goodz actually admitted, hey, I see what you was doing, and I was kind of rebuttaling what you was doing. So I started doing like you started doing what Jay Millz was doing, and Jay Millz already had the momentum. You see what I'm saying? So you following what he's doing, we seen that, and yes, you progressively got better with the beat selection and the song and like how you were sounding on the song. And however, you needed to take your own strategy, and I don't know what it is, but it started. You got to give credit to Joe Budden, because Joe Budden started with the whole. I'm gonna have 6 songs ready in case Drake want to reply to this first song or whatever, right? I'm not gonna necessarily just. I'm gonna have some songs in the tuck. Like Goodz took to that approach, and he started dropping multiple songs. But like I said, when when the momentum is on your side and you kind of following what what you're following one rapper, like it's not it's not rebuttal time by I'ma do what you did. It's you gotta find a way to get the momentum on your side, and whether it gotta be with the rap, the the beat choice and the raps to it. You gotta find a way to do that, and Jay Millz just pretty much had the momentum carry him the whole way through just from the DNA and just how you started your it was just but to like I said to Screwface Gene, if you wanted, I know you said you want to debate whoever was on the other side. I don't really necessarily need to debate. I just need you to have the proper context of why the battle rap community picked J Mills over DNA per se. I don't know if you necessarily followed the rest because I know the numbers probably wasn't. Well, I looked at the numbers. It wasn't as high as your other videos, so you probably didn't really feel the need to double back to the Goodz and J Mills because it's not gonna get you the views. But just to set the record straight, to understand why the battle rap community had J Mills over Goodz, it wasn't for sure because I like I said the consensus for most people was DNA definitely content and what is it rapping. I wouldn't say rapping ability. I want to say content and lyrical ability did outperform J Mills, but just how it was displayed and kind of the momentum of it and what we were trying to get out from it, it kind of put DNA in a catch up type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So just proper context, and like I said, I know you followed the Drake and Kendrick, so that was just a good analogy in my perspective of if you don't know if you didn't know that Meet the Grams came out 30 minutes later after Family Matters, like when we look at this, when somebody looks at this 10 years from now, they may not understand how Meet the Grams, the impact of the momentum switch, because we've never seen, like Drake did the back to back, but we never seen the diss track come out 30 minutes after somebody else's diss track. I mean, I was around for Joe Button and Ransom. Joe Button and Saigon. Like those were daily. Like somebody put out something in the morning, and then somebody put out something in the afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Or at night or whatever. But to come out, to be strategic enough to come out 30 minutes later before reactors even got to put their video out, and they online when Drake drops. You know what I'm saying? We up. We on streams. They on stream. You know what I'm saying? We up, and in everybody's, and pretty much in everybody's Drake reaction video, you're gonna see Kendrick drop. Stop playing. You playing because the chat is telling them, because a lot of people are live or whatever, and whatever, and the chat is telling them, oh, Kendrick just dropped. Kendrick. So you're gonna see that. So it may give proper context in the future, but you just gotta know that it's crucial to know the context of why think the momentum is what it is. Um, what else? What else I got? Um, so we did that. That I don't know. I be having a lot on my mind, man. I be having a lot. Uh, the Akash and his wife. Akash and his wife. I don't know if it's the biggest deep dive. Akash and your wife. I'm not as invested as Myron. I'm not as close to you as DJ Academics. So I could talk freely, right? But I'm not here to bash you or bash your lady. The only thing I would say as an avid flagrant two, far as I go back with Andrew and Charlemagne on Brilliant Idiots. I go back with Flagrant 2 when it started out with Kaz, and y'all was in with the loudspeaker network studios. Um as somebody who's been necessarily with the podcast, I'm not saying like Flagrant now, I don't watch it as consistently as I once did, as when it started as like this sports driven podcast. That's why it was called Flagrant 2 or whatever. Like I said, with Akash, Kaz, Alex was probably there. But I know Andrew, Akash, and Kaz, right? And to kind of follow the journey of Akash and him being a virgin. It's kind of like it's kind of like we kind of grow attached to not the. I wouldn't say I'm growing attached to you as a person. I'm talking about the storyline of it. You know what I'm saying? The storyline of the people with in front of the camera. So I don't necessarily feel like I know you as a person, but the storyline that you portray on the podcast, I follow just like like I'm invested in the Joe Button podcast, Roy Moore, as the whatever you're giving us as the storyline. You see what I'm saying? And you and your wife, the whole story of y'all being virgins and y'all making that commitment after marriage, it was a beautiful thing. And it kind of just threw me off because, to be honest, I just don't look at. I'm not the person that says just because I didn't use my penis, just because I didn't use my vagina, makes me not a virgin. I mean, makes me a virgin. Or am I saying it right? Like, I can't give fellatio. I can't lick on a girl in a sexual manner outside of kissing. I'm saying, like, if I'm eating vagina or if a girl is sucking penis or she's taking it in the booty hole or I'm allowing a girl to suck me off, like, to me that's not a virgin. You know what I'm saying? In my book. Like, I believe there are many people who believe just because my penis didn't enter a vagina, or my vagina, or women believe my vagina wasn't entered by a penis, that I'm a virgin. I'm not that guy. That's that's why when you say to me I'm a virgin, can't now it is a slight bit of a double standard per se, far as can a guy be a virgin if, say, he's kissing and maybe sucking on breasts? Yes. But if he's eating vagina, he's eating out booty holes, the girl is letting the guy eat her out, the girl is letting the guy put it in her butt, ah, you're not a virgin to me. You know what I'm saying? You just ain't, you're not a virgin, you just ain't complete the act you know what I'm saying? Like, you just didn't really do all of the things. It's like saying your booty's a virgin. It's like, hey, I've never let a guy do it in my butt as a female. I'm saying, as a female say, I never let a guy do it in my butt, so I'm gonna save it for my husband, and that'll be our special thing, type of thing. And it's like for me to just hear that, I'm like, yeah, you just never did it. It's not really special. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, it's not special. It's just you just ain't never did it. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I look at it. So when when you were saying, "Oh, me and my wife were virgins," I didn't necessarily take it as that. Now that all of these clips and I mean, it's not clips. It's just her saying what she's saying, like her saying her college uh escapades. I don't necessarily take them as a joke, to be honest with you. I don't necessarily feel, well, I don't feel like the version you were portraying, not that you did it on purpose, right? Because it's not like I'm there to question you on it. It's not like the people are, oh, what do you mean by version? Like you, it wasn't never that conversation that I remember. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't watch it particularly every episode, so you may have had the conversation. I didn't see it, or I'm not even privy to. I'm not, as a fan of the show, as a supporter of the show. I don't even feel privy to know what you consider a version. See what I'm saying? So even I'm just necessarily really just taking your word, but I'm not thinking the word is, oh, she just never took it in the vagina before. See what I'm saying? She takes it in the butt and she sucks cock. I'm old school. I go back to Clerks. You know what I'm saying? I'm Clerks all day. Jay and Silent Bob. You know what I'm saying? You suck how many? You know what I'm saying? That's just me. But moving forward in that, it just kind of felt crazy to hear your wife speaking in such a way, because I really don't assess that, and this is me projecting too. I don't assess somebody who's a virgin up until marriage per se, or I couldn't see. This is what I'm saying. The way and I'm not really putting this on his wife. I'm not putting anything on his wife. She could be who she want. I don't really know her. It's no. She wasn't on the part saying it. It was Akash saying this. From what he portrayed, whether it was him saving himself for his religious purposes or his cultural beliefs, in his how his family looks at him, it made it put that whole stigma on his wife. You see what I'm saying? So I held your wife to that same thing, even though she may have been younger. Is I mean, you, like you said, you probably 31, 22, whatever, and then whatever. So what I'm saying is, I thought y'all was going into that as, now we need to be married first to necessarily take these steps. See what I'm saying? So that's what I held her against. And for that to be that person, I just don't feel that that person could even joke like that. You know what I'm saying? Her brain wouldn't come up with the thought of, oh, in college I was at all these white boy frat parties, shaking my, popping, what is that, like popping my pussy and all of these things. You know what I'm saying? Like, that wasn't that cultural religion, this this my family will frown upon me if I acted in such a manner. See what I'm saying? And like I said, that's just kind of how I took it from Akash. So like I said, I don't take it as a joke. I think these are very real. the whole thing about her co-worker's husband and all of that. I'm not really here to speak on if y'all cool with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to, like, I have different rules and standards in my marriage, you know what I mean? I am married. I've been married since 2017. So it's about 8 years now, right? But I'm not here to cast judgment on, oh, your wife shouldn't be allowed to say this. Like, I honestly feel like it wouldn't bother me because of who you are as a comedian, the flagrancy and all of the things. It wouldn't even, I would not stand on the side of, oh, your wife shouldn't do this, your wife shouldn't say that. I'm not that guy. My wife, if people know me, I believe she has a lot of freedom. Like, I'm not the husband of, oh, my wife is living under these strict standards. You know what I'm saying? So if I heard your wife say these things and I just didn't have that outlook on her that you kind of put in our heads, and I think that's kind of where the most shock comes. You know what I'm saying? Cause I mean, and like I said, religion plays a part, right? Because you made it kind of a cultural religion thing with the Indian. And when we think of these Indians, we think of the hijabs and all of these things. You really can't see her eyes and all that. So, like I said, us being without us being privy to knowing who your wife was for however long or whatever, it just kind of, like I said, it kind of created a mold in our mind to how your wife was carrying it. So it's just very shocking to hear her talk as if, like I said, as if, yo, yeah, I was kind of sucking dick. Yeah, I was letting guys fuck me in the ass, but I'm a virgin because ain't nobody went in my vagina. It's kind of, that's just how it's coming off. Whether it's true or not, that's just how it's coming off. And I think I'm gonna end it on this one. I think I didn't put in a good hour and some change. But just to end it on the Akash, um, I don't like, I'm not a believer in thinking this is mess up your marriage. I think y'all pretty cool with y'all each other. I think y'all talk to each other like this. Y'all allow it. Like, far as, I think you know she talks like this. I believe, I don't. And the reason I want to keep continue and kind of, and I'm not trying to bring everything up, but I'm trying to, like, I seen all the clips. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen a lot of the clips of her not wanting to kiss you, not showing public displays of affection. Like, this is what I'm kind of incorporating without saying it. I wanted to put, like, when somebody sees this, I want them to know that I seen all of the things. You know what I'm saying? Whether Akash or whatever, I seen all the things, and I'm just not a part of the. My wife needs to carry her a certain way. Uh, uh, my wife doesn't need to carry herself a certain way for the societies to accept that I'm comfortable as the man in the relationship with how my wife portrays herself on the internet. I just believe that all of the things y'all know about, you cool with, you've heard about, whether she recorded it and came home and say, hey, just so you know, I said this and that. Like when y'all was all four on the podcast, the two husbands and the two wives, and she said it in front of you, and you talking about, yeah, you go around showing dudes picture to people, like, look at this guy. Like, I believe all of the things you know and you cool with. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't want to bring up every single incident and kind of discuss it as an individual. But I'm just saying, overall, I believe y'all set a certain level that y'all comfortable with, you're comfortable with her saying these things on the airwaves, whether it be on her TikTok or on her show or whatever, whatever. So I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really speaking to her. I'm not really speaking to that. I'm just speaking to why, for a person like me who's not necessarily here to bash you or here to bash women, it did feel kind of creepy though, just to hear the things. It was tough. It was a tough listen. But with all that being said, like I said, I'm gonna try to uh do more of these, be more consistent. I'm gonna start trying to write down topics so I'm not just going off the head anymore. But I got to about three things. I appreciate y'all. I see y'all. Look forward to me adding the clips in here. I'm gonna get a different computer. I'm gonna get me a Mac at some point soon. I mean, Mac some point soon. I've been talking about it for years, but since since I don't really get a lot of views, or I'm not really looking to make a business out of this, it's been hard for me to justify spending that much money just to kind of do what I want. But I kind of really still want to do what I want. Like I want it to still look and feel how I want it to feel. Like this is cool, but I kind of really like, that's why I'm doing 4K things. Like, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm out. I appreciate y'all. Stick with me. Stay tuned. Bigger and better things coming. Peace.